2, 1, engage. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Baumann Report, Dismantle Aegis. The independent inquiry into Aegis has delivered its final conclusions and recommended that the organization be closed down. Dr. Paul Baumann, who chaired the board of inquiry, summarized the detailed report. Aegis was established on solid foundations in 3303 with strong leadership. Over the years, poor mid-level management and general negligence reduced its effectiveness. A silo mentality developed, with each department focusing on itself rather than strategic goals. Reduced funding undoubtedly contributed to low morale amongst staff and a lack of any further breakthroughs in AX technology. But a reliance on independent pilots to combat the Thargoids became normalized, with some staff considering them disposable mercenaries. More specifically, the loss of the megaship Alexandria and the illegal attack against Hind Mine are both catastrophes that could have been anticipated and prevented. This board cannot in all conscience recommend any scenario that might enable further loss of life in Aegis's name. Observers have noted that the Baumann Report, as it is commonly referred to, does not discuss salvation or suggest methods of replacing Aegis. In related news, the court-martial of Admiral Aidan Tanner has concluded with a verdict of guilty and a dishonorable discharge from the Federal Navy. However, his sentencing has been postponed by request from newly promoted Fleet Admiral Tayo Makori, who has ordered a full review of evidence provided by Ram-Tar.
by 50. Surface scan complete.
Materials delivered for Colonia Bridge starports. Pilots Federation alert. The third phase of Brewer Corporation's Colonia Bridge project has proven successful, according to a recent announcement. Shipments of ceramic composites, computer components and thermal cooling units were transported in large numbers to Jacques Station in the Colonia system and McDonald settlement in the Alcor system. As a result, several new starports will be constructed along the travel corridor to Colonia. Brewer Corporation released this statement regarding the initiative. Once again, we owe a great deal to the pilots who brought us so many vital resources. We can now proceed with constructing one starport in the vicinity of Colonia and 5 starports in systems branching out from Alcor. These will increase the value of the Colonia Bridge for travelers, tourists and commercial interests alike. The starport infrastructures are scheduled to be built by the 27th of January. Initially, they will provide rearm, refuel and repair services, but will lack markets and other facilities. The distances involved in ferrying equipment to these locations means that these starports will become fully operational in stages over a period of weeks. Contributors will be able to collect their rewards from Jacques Station and McDonald settlement from the 14th of January. The proposed engineered frame shift drives for those eligible will follow at a later date. The dedicated pilots who provided the most deliveries in Alcor and Colonia will receive invitations to submit suggestions to name the new starports, subject to review. Sirius Gov enters the Alioth system. Prime Minister Edmund Mahon has invited Sirius Corporation to establish a permanent presence within the Alliance. The Alliance Tribune's political correspondent Vanya Driscoll reported, Sirius Corporation's new role as a strategic defense partner has expanded swiftly, with a Sirius faction established in the Alioth system to represent the Megacorp. In addition, several megaships have arrived in other allied systems to provide support. The Alliance Defense Force and some government departments now have official advisors from Sirius Corporation on their staff. Prime Minister Mahon announced that these developments will streamline joint operations with the Sirius Navy, and in turn provide effective countermeasures against Thargoid aggression. But Councillor Nakito Kane claims that the presence of Sirius Gov is illegal as it was not ratified by the Assembly. She has pointed out that since the Defense Pact makes this a classified military matter, any civil action to reverse Mahon's executive decision has been deliberately blocked. Senate blocks ACT investigation. There are claims that the Imperial Senate is preventing efforts to examine a potential link between the Empire Security Services and the NMLA. Captain Saskia Landau has publicly stated that the terrorists' dark comms network is closely related to the Omega grid system used exclusively by Imperial intelligence. She expanded on her theory in a statement to Vox Galactica. Based on evidence and interrogation transcripts obtained by ACT, I believe that rogue elements within Imperial intelligence were training and providing equipment to the NMLA. This would help explain the level of sophistication they achieved in coordinating their starport attacks and communicating without detection. There is certainly enough circumstantial proof to warrant a dedicated investigation. But the Senate is refusing to authorize this, which makes me wonder what they are trying to hide. Senator Karl Nerva reiterated, "It is time for ACT to devolve and return much-needed resources to the Empire where they belong." However, Senator Caspian Leopold responded, "To alleviate any lack of confidence in our security services, we should examine Captain Landau's allegation rigorously. Our citizens must be reassured that Imperial intelligence exists solely for their protection." superpowers plan to replace Aegis. The Alliance, Empire, and Federation have accepted the Bauman Report's recommendation to permanently shut down Aegis. The independent inquiry's findings on the organization's failings will result in Aegis being immediately shut down. However, Chief Administrator Carter Armstrong has cautioned that full demobilization of staff, ships, and resources might take several months. Senator Denton Patrias has successfully obtained senatorial approval for an increased military budget to allow the Imperial Navy to directly take on the role played by Aegis. Fleet Admiral Tayo Makori likewise confirmed that the Federal Congress has ordered the creation of a new naval strike force. On his own authority, he has also commissioned an investigation into Salvation, following Ram Tar's testimony regarding the nature of the anti-Xeno superweapon. Admiral Nicholas Glass, who was recently appointed to the Council of Admirals, stated that the Alliance Defense Force and Sirius Navy will work in conjunction to fulfill Aegis's purpose. Xenological research laboratories set up by Professor Albert Tesreau will now transfer their work to specialist departments in the Holloway Bioscience Institute, Imperial Science Academy, and Olympus Village University. In 3304, the Thargoids made targeted strikes against Aegis's labs, but all three institutions have made assurances that the new locations will have the highest security.
Surface scan complete.
Massey wins mining contract. Pilots Federation alert. The Kane Massey Corporation has beaten Torval Mining Limited to retain a mining contract in the Dullo system. Competing campaigns were waged by the two rivals for the rights to supply ore and mined materials to many local subsidiaries. Johann Fleischer, Vice President of Kane Massey, declared their victory. We wish to thank the large number of pilots who delivered bromelite, samarium, and gallite. Thanks to your hard work, our contract has been renewed for another decade. I like to think that we have also secured the honor of the Federation by stalling the Empire's plans. Rewards for contributors to Kane Massey are now available for collection at Smithport in the Dullo system. Torval Mining Limited also received many deliveries of materials, but in insufficient quantities to secure the contract. Constantia Torval has confirmed that the pilots who supported their initiative can collect payment at the Pride of Bitterwood megaship. The missing Emperor? Princess Aisling de Val has discussed growing concerns over Emperor Arisa Lavigny de Val's lack of public engagements in recent months. In an interview with the Imperial Herald, she said, "Chancellor Blaine assures us that the Emperor has been kept in seclusion for nearly a year to protect her from the NMLA. But why has this prevented the Empire's ruler from engaging with her citizens? After all, Hadrian de Val and his family were placed under the same senatorial protection without disappearing altogether. We know that the Emperor has communicated with the Senate on various matters during this time. Government channels are generally trusted thanks to Imperial Intelligence's verification protocols. But Captain Landau's recent testimony, which links Imperial Intelligence to the NMLA, has me concerned. How can I be sure that a breach to our most secure networks wasn't responsible for the location and murder of my father, Prince Harold? Until Arisa appears in person, it is irresponsible to assume her safety is guaranteed. I will be most relieved to have my fears proved wrong." Chancellor Anders Blaine responded, "With the greatest respect, Princess de Val, I have never had cause to believe that Her Majesty the Emperor is in any danger from her own security agencies. Her imminent return to public life should alleviate such concerns."
Surface scan complete.
Federal government plans for the future. President Zachary Hudson has delivered a speech to Congress on maintaining security for the Federation in the coming years. Excerpts from his address include the following. "In the last year, we have excelled at protecting federal citizens from harm. The Proactive Detection Bureau proved its worth in locating terrorists before they could strike, and our security services played an instrumental role in the NMLA's defeat. 3308 is already bringing many challenges. The war against the Thargoids could escalate at any time, and we face the challenge of replacing Aegis with our own anti-Xeno task force. We are also deeply concerned about increased infighting within the Alliance and Empire, which could easily spill over into our territory. My administration is holding high-level discussions about how best to keep the Federation strong and secure. We will soon make some brave proposals to continue meeting our people's constitutional right to safety." Shadow President Felicia Winters delivered this rebuttal. President Hudson fails to mention his disastrous attempt to capture Yuri Grom, his former fleet admiral's criminal conviction for destroying Starship One, or that his surveillance laws forced several systems to declare independence. I would argue that under his leadership, the Federation has never been weaker or less secure.
complete. Orbital flight engaged.